Brofessional Hunters, out with another video. It's Friday, 8 p.m. You already know. Today, we're going to be showing y'all the crow hunting gear and how we set up, how to call, everything you need to know about crow hunting. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go into decoys because that's probably the most important part, is you need some decoys. First, you got your basic decoys that just set in the ground, 3D. Got a nice stake on them, stake them in the ground, and bam. They even got a little hanger, you can hang them up in the tree, which we don't do, but you can if you want. I've seen other people do it. We bought them on Academy Outdoors. I think they were $6 a piece, so not cheap, but a lot cheaper than the waterfowl decoys. Second decoy we got the ones you can hang from a tree. Got these at Bass Pro. Now these are what you call flop. They kind of like feel like felt. Pack of 2 of these were $25, so these ones aren't that cheap. But I think having one up in the tree is better than not having one up in the tree for sure. So to carry your decoys, we got a nice decoy bag. If you're a duck hunter, you probably already have one. But the biggest thing in decoys is keeping them nice and black. So we keep this in our decoy bag. It is some Supreme Shine black. It's basically for like cars. You can find it at any auto place. And a rag. So like you see here, it's got dirt on it. That's just from putting it back in the bag and the dirt coming off the stakes. If you use this, it'll be nice and shiny every time you use them. Definitely helps a lot. The crows notice if there's dirt on your decoys. And the shinier they are, the better. So next decoy we're gonna go into, we got some motion decoy. And this is the Mojo Crow. It's actually Mojo brand in another state. So it's about 3.5 to 4 feet off the ground. It is battery charged. One flick, it turns for a second, stops. Turns for a second, stops. I think this is definitely a good purchase. They are pretty pricey. I think they're $50 to $60 a piece, but we have 3 of them and we use them every single time. Sometimes we don't use all 3, sometimes we'll just take one, but we always have at least one out in the decoys, especially right where you want them to come in. Like if there's like a hill or something that you can't see over, but if they're coming they can see, you want to have it right on the edge of that hill where they can see it farthest distance, and they'll come right up behind it, right into the shooting lane, and bam. This has definitely helped us kill many crows. Now we're gonna go into calls. So you can use electronic calls for crow hunting. This is the Primos Turbo Dog. It has a couple crow calls on it. It's got crow gathering and crow fighting, so I always use this first. Flip on the crow gathering, see if we can get some to flock in and see what's going on. And if they don't like it, I like to switch it to crow fight when they're on their way out, and normally they turn around and check it out again. So nice having 2 calls on one. And then this one is the Fox Pro Wildfire. It's a cheap electronic call, but it also has 2 calls on it. And thing that I like about Fox Pro is that they have the dying crow call, and that works really good actually. And it also has crow fight. The crow fight's a little raspy. It is a cheap call kind of for what it is, but the dying crow works phenomenal. And then you got mouth calls. I like to start out with mouth calls first, because normally you can call them in with the mouth calls and maybe get a shot. If not, you can most definitely turn on the electric collar and they'll come right back, give you a shot. So mouth calls are a big thing. Switch it up. You can do any sound you want basically a crow makes. It's not like the electric collar that just repeats every minute or so. And I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on the multiple calls you can do. So this is just the normal call, you know, ah, 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 ah. And that, you just blow through it basically, just hoo, 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 hoo. And then you got it. And then the other one would be like, kind of like where it's like swooping in, coming down. You'll hear a crow go, ah, ah. You'll like make like a real raspy noise. So the way you do that is you hum like and that works really good, especially if they're on their way in. Start hitting that deep. They'll come swooping in a little bit lower and hopefully give you a shot. And then you can also do the dying crow, which works surprisingly. We were duck hunting the other day and called in a crow from like 200 yards. I had the crow call around my lanyard, just doing a dying crow. No decoys or nothing, came right into where we could shoot him. Alright, so the way you do that is basically you gotta bite down on the call a little bit, because the crow calls, the reed comes out and you can bite down on it. It kind of sounds like a dying rabbit, but trust me, crows, they'll come in no matter what. So that's one thing that I also done with the e-collars is I've used them both at the same time. And if you have two e-collars, it's nice because you can do this. You can turn one to like a baby cottontail just squealing, and then the other one to crow fight. And then that's a good way to call in some crows. They'll think maybe they're fighting over a dying rabbit, fighting over some food, and maybe another crow can come swoop in and grab it. So it's a good way to use two calls, good way to use the mouth call. And now we go to shotguns. So we got shotguns. I like to use 12 gauge because normally 12 gauge gets it done every time. So you can use heavier loads. This gun will shoot 3.5. Sometimes I like using 3.5. Sometimes I don't. But that's just your opinion. You can use a 20 gauge. 20 gauge will work. Tyler uses a 20 gauge sometimes, and it gets it done. But 12 is my preference. Also, I would like to use a camo gun. I painted this myself. This gun is specifically for crow. Alright, now this is a 22. Crows love to land in trees, especially out of shotgun range. So if you got a 22 with you, you might get an opportunity. You like to keep a 22 or a 17 HMR. You can use really whatever you want, whatever you feel confident to shoot a small animal at like 80 to 100 yards. This is it. Nice old long barrel 22. Bolt action. Very accurate. Bushnell scope. Thanks for watching. This is Jackson Cundiff with Brofessional Hunters. Peace out. Hope you liked the video. Good luck crow hunting when you go out. Hopefully I helped you all out. Stay tuned for more crow hunting videos. Peace out. Brofessional Hunters. Like and subscribe. Hey G, load 'em up. Guess I'm going out to everybody talking